Welcome to Outdoor Channel Outfitters. Today we're in Oswego, New York, fishing the waters of Lake Ontario with K&G Lodge. Captain Greg Gehrig, along with his son Chad Gehrig, are working hard to show their guests Vinny and Jack a great day on the water.
Well, as driving the boat, what I'm doing is I'm driving around. I'm looking for current breaks on the water, as well as paying close attention to where the temperature is at the probe. Right here is our GPS. It's our track line from today and where I'm heading at. All these little dots right here is where we fished previously. Those are all normally waypoints where when we hit a fish, we'll mark a waypoint. That way we can come back to it at a later time or date. Over here we have the fish finder. Right there is what we're marking is a temperature break or a current line that's under the water. Right here are a couple of smaller fish around 50, but we're looking for a nice hook about that size on that fish finder for a bigger salmon. Most important part to salmon fishing and steelhead fishing out here is your speed. 2.4, 2.5, anywhere around there is where the speed that the salmon like the lures at, especially with the lures that we're running right now.
There you go, left empty, there you go.
Go,
All
go,
right.
go. That's what we're looking for.
Oh yeah, that feels like a fish there.
No slack. You got to reel down quicker than that.
I'm not gaining nothing on him.
Don't worry about it. You just stay with him, keep him tight.
Just stay with him.
He'll get tired.
Told him he needs to work it. You need to pull, draw the fish towards you and drop the rod and chase the line right back down to him.
Drop slow, real fast. Now draw. Don't jerk them. This isn't bass fishing. You need two little 2 or 3 pound fish that you catch when you go bass fishing.
The first fish of the day was fortunately, and due to the courtesy of Dr. Jack, he lets me take the rod first. But this one gave me a good fight, and it tested my skills, which are a little rusty. I haven't been on the boat for a year or so. And it's a thrill. It's always a thrill to go fishing.
You heard me yelling a lot today with Vinny and Dr. Jack was reel, 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 reel. Vinny, unfortunately, is left-handed. We do not have any left-handed reels. As far as I know, for the type of fishing we do, there's none made. So Vinny's had to learn to adapt. On top of that, Vinny's got a rotator cuff problem that he can't get his arm up any higher than here, and it makes it difficult for him to reel. So Vinny takes a round ball-bearing handled reel and reels square. And sometimes he can't reel quite fast enough.
He's not happy.
What are you doing with that rod, man? Come on.
Well, the first thing I tell myself is don't screw up, because on a charter boat like this, everything is finely tuned. You got 6 or 7 lines out, and the first thing you do is you listen to either the mate or the captain who's ever barking at the orders, usually both, and you follow directions.
You see how you have a death grip on that handle?
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. Nice and easy. There you go. He's getting tired. He might outlast you. You see it, Chad?
Not yet, I don't. Starting to see some fleas, so it should be coming soon.
Yep. Pull him right, then. That way. Just a rod tip.
Oh, nice steelhead.
Is it?
Can't tell you.
The steelhead or salmon?
I think it's a salmon.
Keep him
Yep,
right. Keep him
nice
right.
salmon.
Keep him right. Nice fish. You gotta love how clear the waters are, huh?
Yeah.
Reel down quick. Shorter strokes now. Reel down, reel down, reel down, reel down. Lift. Keep
Right up
lifting.
to me, Vinny. Keep on coming back. Oh, it's a nice steelhead.
That is a steelhead.
Beautiful steelhead. Whoa! Beauty!
Good job. Good.
Nicely done, Vin.
Good job.
And it turns out it was the best fish we had all day. That was a 9-pound steelhead. It's always a thrill to catch a fish. It's been that way for me since I was 6 years old. I'm bitten by fishing, and I wish I could do it for a living.
The blood in the knuckles. He's earned this one.
Absolutely. How big is that guy?
What are you shaking for me?
I'm shaking like a leaf.
How big is he? He is 9 pounds. Good job.
Felt a lot bigger than that, right? That goes in a box, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
Outdoor Channel Outfitters is with Captain Greg of K&G Lodge, fishing for steelhead and salmon on Lake Ontario. Guest Jack Mermelstein is geared up and ready to go after a trophy of his own, and Captain Greg is going to give us an inside look into K&G Lodge.
Well, we're leaving the port of Oswego out of New York and beautiful Lake Ontario. Oswego is a commercial shipping port, has been since its existence. We're going to go out here in Lake Ontario today, probably go about 18 miles to the west, see if we can find some big salmon steelhead and get some good action.
Get it, just take it out, no hook set. That's a good fish.
When we get on the boat, Vinny and I, we just decide who's going to take the first one, and whoever's up runs and grabs the fish and hooks it, sets the hook, and brings it in. We really try to do all the work ourselves instead of having the captain or the first mate hook the fish. We try to do it ourselves and then enjoy the fight.
Well, especially with his copper, it's very critical that he doesn't like any slack in that line when he drops the rod. And the misconception of landing fish, what everybody thinks is that the reel lands the fish. All the reel does is collect line. So the whole deal is let that rod do all the work. Keep the rod tight, chase it down when you drop it, collects the line, pull back, draws the fish to you.
You definitely have to be synchronized. You jerk with this and you lose it. The unfortunate thing about today was that most of the good hits came on the copper. And the copper is a really difficult tool to bring in because you've got 700 feet of line out there. You really don't know how big the fish is because you've got the weight of the copper that you're fighting. So, and it's a strenuous thing to bring in 700 feet of line.
There he is, steelhead.
That's the trick with the copper. You get him tired out there, and when he gets to right here, he comes in nice and easy. Right up over my head. Nicely done.
Nice fish. Yeah. All right.
I remember Dr. Jack coming up ever since I was a little kid. He's kind of one of those uncles or grandfathers that, you know, you see once or twice a year kind of thing. He's a very, very good angler. Jack was great on the coppers. He really was a champ on them. Wasn't letting any slack or anything like that in them. They were reeling when he needed to.
That won't be classified as a steelhead. They're technically both the same. The only difference is which one's native and which one is stocked.
That's a pretty fish.
Beautiful fish.
K&G Lodge in Lake Ontario is a very unique property. We have a charter fishing service in the largest full-time charter boat in Lake Ontario. It's a 40-foot Jersey sport fisherman. It's built for comfort. It's built to give you the finest quality fishing every day on Lake Ontario. Top Gun's equipped with the finest electronics. iPro staff for Shimano Corporation, Big John Corporation, the downriggers. All the rods and reels are Shimano. The Michigan Stinger Corporation for the spoons, and you saw how effective they were. So everything's top of the line on that boat. As far as the lodge is concerned, we have a 70-site campground. It is seasonal, full-size in-ground heated swimming pool. We have a covered picnic pavilion if they want to do family reunions, etc. They're allowed to bring their boats. Then we also have 16 full-service housekeeping cabins. Each of those cabins is a 2-bedroom, fully furnished unit, full kitchen, living room, bath, shower, towels, linens, color cable television, wireless internet also is available to the cabins. We then also have 8 lodge rooms in the new building where we have the restaurant. On site we have Christie's, which is our full-service restaurant serving dinners only, full bar, some of the most unique food you'll find in town. With this whole facility, the lodge rooms, the campground, the restaurant, so this is a one-stop service for all your fishing vacation
Jack and Vinny have both been given a taste of what fishing on Lake Ontario can be like, and they're hungry for more. Let's get back on the water and see if they can keep up the momentum.
Well, we were watching Vinny square reel today on one of the Dipsy rods, and while everybody was paying attention to him, I noticed another rod went off, so I started screaming and hollering. Captain maneuvered his way around everybody and got to the rod, set the hook, and right from the hook set, you could tell it was going to be a good fish, so we handed it over to Jack because he had a set of free hands, and when he did that, the fish started taking off. The drag was screaming, and that's one of my favorite sounds ever. It's one big indication that it's a salmon that's on the rod.
There it goes. When he starts running from you, if he sees he can't get away, he's going to come at you. And you've got to reel as fast as you can, because if you give him any slack, he's going to throw that hook. So you got to reel, 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 reel. It's not the type of game where you can pull back and hold that fish there and then reel down to him, because he changes his mind very quickly, and if he sees he can't get away, he comes right at you at the boat. And if you give him slack, so fighting a king is a lot different, a lot stronger fish, and I guess a smarter fish, because he does everything he can to get off of that hook.
Keep reeling. When that left corner rod went, Dr. Jack got on it, reeled down, did everything perfect. But even Dr. Jack had to have a little bit of help from the boat, because that fish turned and ran right at us. Dr. Jack was reeling as fast as he could to keep up with that fish. Plus Chad had put the boat full gear forward just to help Jack keep the slack out of the water. Both were able to do their jobs, and we had a successful landing with a 20-pound king.
Oh, yeah, that's a beauty there.
All right, we got a fish.
Great catch, Jack. That's a fish anyone can be proud of.
We're going to have to decide whether we troll west or troll east, because I didn't see the bait we had on that 80-foot level yesterday. It was not there.
What I loved about this is you could see the captains going through their mind. And I mean, these guys had different spots in their minds of, okay, if this is happening here, then these are where the fish should be there. Because the salmon are following the bait fish in the story. That's it. They're going to be where the bait are. So if the wind's blowing in a particular area, or the water temperature's at a certain degree here or there, it's going to move those bait fish around, and guess where those schools of salmon are going to be? Right under those bait fish.
That boy James got lure on the corner. Good fish, buddy. All right. All right, Chatter, slow down a little bit. Oh, nice fish. Nice fish. Let's go. We need this one. Oh, yeah. He's standing at full attention the whole time. All right. Easy, easy. Neutral. Take him quick when he's coming. Go, go, go. Go, 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 go. Lift over my head. Good job, that's a fish. Big lake trout. Yeah! Whoa! All right. Yeah, baby! What a freaking pig. Oh, yeah! We just kept pounding the water, the same water over and over again. Don't know where we'll finish. I know there's some good boxes already, but I think we'll be okay. Now we head back to the dock and it's bourbon time.
There are 46 boats vying for the top spot in the professional division. And while several impressive weights have been recorded on day one, these guys know that it takes consistency to win.
It means nothing until the end of the day tomorrow.
We got our limit, which is all you can ask.
Oswego County has a phenomenal heritage, a phenomenal history. Fort Ontario, that's right there, right in Oswego.
And the fishing isn't bad either.
Oh my goodness, the fishing. You're going to target trophy kings when you're there, and in a mixed bag, you're going to get steelhead.
It is an extraordinary fishery, which I think is...
But it's fun to sit back and just watch these guys. The excitement that would build up as their turn came around to the rod.
Oh yeah. I think they'd smack you down. If it wasn't your turn, I think you'd get smacked down right out of the place. Yep, during the Harbor Festival. That's what I was just getting ready to say. And one of the biggest events that they have up there during the year. I bet you they have over 300,000 people show up. They have a big carnival there.
Yeah.
It's based around that Lake Ontario. That's what's so cool. They had the tall ships come in.
Yeah.
I got to tour the tall ship.
I know, I left a day early, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. And Gary, I want to tell you something. Man alive, was that cool. The woodwork on them, the craftsmanship.
No, they just didn't throw them together.
No.
There was a little planning and there were some really talented people.
Right.
That could work magic with wood.
This is one of the largest ships in the world that actually has a tiller. Most ships have a ship's wheel, but this one was built without a wheel because it's much faster to just put a piece of wood on the top of the rudder post and then use it just like you're riding around in a small boat. This ship was built in, I believe it was 90 days, which was pretty fast for a ship to be built in 1813. There wasn't any power tools to be used. Everything was done by hand, and the entire ship was built with green wood. So any place they could save some time, they would, and this is one of those ways of doing it. We have 2 people to handle the tiller because it's so big, and they use these tiller tackles right here. So we actually use a block and tackle to haul the tiller from one side to the other.
One of the neatest things that we got to experience was the night before their Harbor Days kicked off. They have this big cocktail reception at Fort Ontario.
Yeah, and if I'd have got there in time, I could have went.
What a neat deal. And they sound the cannon.
Yeah.
They have a cannon, a working cannon. They sound the cannon off, and that officially begins.
Opens the ceremonies for the whole weekend.
Oh my goodness. So we got to do that, and of course I brought Shannon and the girls up with me. And
they had a little fun time at the carnival, didn't they?
Yes, they did. They had a blast at the carnival. I mean, there was something for everybody. And then the history behind Fort Ontario, that's right there, right in Oswego, and the history behind that whole area of Oswego, that was pretty neat. We got to go and explore some of the museums and the things that are up there.
It's interesting history.
Absolutely. Just a wonderful, rich piece of heritage there. So then the next day we go out, you and I got to be pretty much the fly on the wall, so to speak.
Yeah, but you know what? That was another neat deal.
Yeah, it was. It really
those
was.
guys, New Jersey?
The guests were from New Jersey. The guide captain, Top Gun.
Top Gun?
Yep, Greg.
Well, we met
Greg.
him in Alcott.
In Alcott, yeah, at the Big Salmon Tournament.
Big Salmon Tournament.
He invited us to come on his boat to see how they do it out of Oswego, and so we did that with him.
We were there.
Right.
Let's, one more day, and so we went fishing with him.
And my goodness,
those guys had a blast.
They did. They probably caught a dozen fish between them, and some very. I think there was a 20-pound fish.
Yeah, they got some nice fish.
Yeah, some very nice fish.
All right.
Big fish. Come on, Poppy. This fish is giving me a problem. Oh, give me a problem. I think I'm by the tail, throwing the bus. 1 pound.
Well, that is a nice fish, yeah.
Oh, that's a nice fish.
Whoa, Denny boy!
Those guys told me that they've been going up there fishing with Captain Greg for something like 15 years.
Yeah, they
on Top Gun.
The core of that group did, and then they bring a couple new guys every once in a while. And now one young fella, I don't think he had ever caught a fish.
No, and you know what? Isn't that a testament though to the fishery? That you get guys that'll go back there year after year after year.
Got a little bend in the old rod. That little sucker. Might have some competition. Don't get wrapped.
Is there a fish on it?
Yeah. Hold on. Pull hard. Pull hard. Come on quick, shorter stroke. There you go. Again, pull right. Pull right. There you go. Nice. Oh, that's a little bit bigger.
It's a real nice fish.
Pretty color, huh? Isn't that pretty color?
I like to watch people catch fish. I like to catch them, but it's fun to sit back and just watch these guys. The excitement that would build up as their turn came around to the rod.
Oh yeah. I think they'd smack you down. If it wasn't your turn, I think you'd get smacked down right out of the place.
Go to the left, Mike. Nice fish. Saw it? Oh, wow. That's don't follow him. You gotta bring him back here. You gotta keep him on back here. That rod controls him. Oh, he's ready. He's not ready yet. I'll tell you when you see the back of the boat. Again, go down. Nice fish, Michael. Left. Oh no, give me the rod, give me the rod. Give him some room, give him some room. Crazy fish. Back. Whoa, right. Good job, Greg. Good job. Good job. Keep him on that side. Go down. Flip. Get him. All right. All right. Woo!
take your own boat and go up there and do that. I would say that's a port that you really need.
It's still well before dawn in Oswego, New York. But for Captain Greg Gehrig and the crew of Top Gun, planning for the Oswego Lake Ontario Trout and Salmon Pro-Am, the third stop in a 4-event tournament series, has been ongoing for weeks. Today, Gehrig and his team of anglers will take a huge step toward defending their title as the top trout and salmon fishing team on Lake Ontario. And as the defending Challenge Cup champions, a bullseye has been placed squarely on the Top Gun's keel. Fierce competition will take to the water in search of the bite that will earn them the title of King of Lake Ontario.
Pro-Am series in Lake Ontario started back in the late 1980s, and I've been fishing since 1989. It's a competition for professional fishermen, the best of the best. The Challenge Cup is the award presented to the captain who wins the most points accumulated for the 4 professional tournament series on Lake Ontario. We were fortunate enough to capture that prize last year.
The Challenge Cup is more than just a prestigious award. For charter boats on Lake Ontario, winning the cup can make the difference between a good year and a great year when it comes to booking a season of charters. And for captains like Greg Gehrig and Vince Pierleoni, the difference between a good year and a great year can mean thousands of dollars.
Team that I have assembled, it took a lot of years, but we're family. I have a 78-year-old gentleman, Merle. He's from Ohio. Dave is from New Jersey. He's in his late 50s. James, he's a young buck. He's 30 years old. My son, Chad, he drives the boat for me. And Jeff, my first mate, handles rig and rods with me in the back of the boat.
Already the chess match has begun. Top Gun heads east out of Oswego Harbor, while the Thrill Seeker takes a due westerly course. Each captain knows that the early bite is crucial, and there's no sense in saving their best spots.
It's going to be a tough day. You got a first bite, and then the fish are going to shut down. It's going to be flat, hot, and calm. It's not going to be fun.
And bite slow. A strategy session is already underway on the Top Gun, and now it's decision time. Continue to target big fish at the risk of not boxing out, or head to shallower waters in search of smaller, yet easier to catch fish, and the 120-point limit bonus.
You gotta make a move. You gotta try to get the box out. You gotta get that 120 points for the 12 fish. You don't want to lose that, so you gotta get 12 fish. That's the name of the game.